Let me come in here because what this is all about is about our rights. Whether you are presumed guilty, innocent, we all have rights. And these rights have to be obeyed whether we like it or not. But it would seem that we haven't actually seen all of that because I'm still going through section 34. 34 alone would explain all of what we have just seen in that particular video.
Absolutely. Inhuman
and degrading treatment against torture.
Yes.
And so many of these things that sometimes when they get to court, they say it was under duress. You as a lawyer and your colleagues, what kind of relationship do you have with the police officers? Because most of the highly placed police officers have knowledge of the law if they're not even lawyers. What kind of relationship do you have to the extent that some of these have not trickled down to the policeman who's, in the lower cadre?
We have a serious problem here in this country. When you walk into a police station, the policeman sees a lawyer as an enemy. That you are coming there to spoil his Gary, so to speak. Because first of all, the policeman wants to be given a free hand to either deal with the suspects or extort money from the family members. I mean, I have a case, that a boy has been missing for about 6 years now from the, SARS Ikeja there, and I've written a petition to the Inspector of Police over the matter, where he was arrested for armed robbery, and the family members came there and they said, bring 50,000 to just release him on bail. So that is to tell you, first of all, that it was a phantom, robbery incident. They just at times raid people on the streets. And I'm sure you heard that a lot. They raid people and they say, bring money to get bail. And once you don't bring the money, they will just type a charge of armed robbery or a capital offense, take you to court, and then you are remanded in prison custody. Or in many cases, I'm sure you remember when it was very rife that they just killed them at the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. They were wasting human beings. They would take them to the back and shoot them, and they would call the police and call the press and put some guns in front of them that it was during exchange of fire.
Is it about education? Because
they first see you as an enemy when you come to the police station. They see you as that you are in contest with them. They don't cooperate with lawyers in this country. Policemen, they don't.
Not all of them, because that's why I'm...
Except the lawyer is prepared to play along with the police. When you see policemen, most times at the lower cadre, who are very friendly with lawyers and welcome their police, because those lawyers are cooperating with them and giving them bribes. Some lawyers will be the first one to tell their clients to say, oh boy, you need to give them money to come out of here. And what I normally tell my clients is that you must be prepared, to stay here and enforce your rights. It's not goats that are in the police in the cell. The cell is made for human beings. So go there and wait, and let us enforce your rights. Because I don't say that from a professional angle. I have been in and out a number of times, over my career. So they know that I speak from a position of authority, because I've been detained and I've gone to prison a number of times for the causes I fight. So when I tell them with courage in my eyes, there are times they buy the ideas. Some of them will say, no, I just want to give. I don't want to sleep here. I want to give money and go away. So in most cases, when you see policemen in league with lawyers, certain lawyers, it's because the lawyers encourage their clients to give bribes to those policemen.
But is there a way out? I mean, you just talked about it now. These raids that happen sometimes, and people are paraded for no just cause. We've seen instances where, people are killed or paraded, and then, that's when their relatives are able to identify them and say, oh, this person just went out to go and buy something here. This person cannot be a suspect. It can't be the one you're looking for. And they have an instances reported like that. So it does raise questions as to, whether or not people like this who say, I'm innocent, whether or not they're truly innocent or whether they're guilty as paraded.
Mark, the basic problem we are facing is the failure of the criminal justice system. If you speak to certain, law enforcement agencies who are, entrusted with the responsibility to fight violent crimes, they will tell you that they have no trust in the courts, and that's why in some cases in the past they were killing the armed robbery suspects. They were shooting them, because in most cases they will tell you that some of them they have arrested before, Some of the people they arrest committing violent crimes, there are people they have arrested in previous occasions, who they charged to court, who were released on bail, or who escaped the judicial system and came back again to those violent crimes. So they will just decide to kill them when they arrest them again.
Which is a problem by itself.
Which is a problem. So it is a failure of the criminal justice system. And this failure does not stop only at the trial of violent crimes. It also extends to financial crimes. I'm sure you hear all the outcry these days about the lack of convictions in terms of prosecution of financial crimes. So there's a serious problem with the criminal justice system. And I don't know why we are not interested in the reformation of the criminal justice system. There's been a lot of reformation in the civil procedural rules in all the states to make justice delivery faster. I'm sure over the years you have seen that we have employed the principle of front loading and all that so that you can get judgments as quickly as possible. But that type of energy has not been also brought to reform the criminal justice system. Why? Because I suspect somewhere that it suits the elites.
Because you suggested several recommendations.
I'm happy, Kitambola, you remember that. I sent a recommendation to the National Assembly because I'm at the heart of most prosecutions. I have done defense, I have done prosecutions at the highest level, and I've seen both sides. And so I can sit down here authoritatively and tell you that I know exactly where the problems are. And one of the major problems is the stay of proceedings in criminal trials. Yeah, there are problems regarding lack of proper investigation and all of that. But then, justice delayed is justice denied. And I have said it over and over and over again, but something tells me that some people are not interested in reforming the criminal justice system. You stay proceedings because of interlocutory applications in criminal trials. And because of those interlocutory applications, they travel all the way for 8 years to the Supreme Court. And then the Supreme Court says, go back and try the person. By then, your witnesses have traveled out of jurisdiction. They're out of reach. Some have died. Some have lost their memory. And there would have been enough time for the accused person to reach out to the witnesses because he knows them over time, that most of them will be unwilling to come and testify on your behalf again. I'm sure recently you saw a very popular trial I did, that where the witness came to the dock and began to say a different thing from the statement he made to the EFCC. He just changed and started supporting the accused person. And I had to apply to treat him as a hostile witness and confronted him with the statement he made to the EFCC because of the length of time it took for that trial to start. It took about 8 years for that trial to begin.
Is this what happens why those governors, none of them has gone far with the prosecution?
That is the tragedy we face. That is exactly why the governors have not been... second generation governors who are being tried have joined the first generation governors in court. And we have them, the third ones coming now. We joined the second one and the first one.
Wow.
And they are all still in courts. All of them. So something tells me that somewhere, somehow, certain persons are not interested in reforming the criminal justice system. And I make bold to say this publicly. They don't want people to be convicted, and that is the truth. It's a whole, coterie of conspiracy that we are seeing in this country.